Good morning. I ask everybody stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome. At this time, I'd like to open the public hearing for the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget and the tax levies. And I ask, are there any public comments or questions on the proposed 2025 budget or tax levies? Any public questions? For a second time, are there any public questions on a proposed fiscal year budget for Oceana County for 2025 or the tax levies? Third and final time, are there any public comments on the Oceana County proposed fiscal year 2025 budget or tax levies? Hearing no public comments, are there any comments from the Board of Commissioners? Hearing no public comments from the Board of Commissioners or public comments, I will close the public hearing for the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget and tax levies, and I would call to order the regular meeting for Thursday, October 24th, 2025 of the Oceana County Board. And I ask the clerk to do a roll call, please.
Mr. Erickson.
Here.
Mr. Morris. Oops. Mr. McCormick. I forgot to change that one. Mr. Beggs.
Here.
Mr. Hardy.
Here.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
Ooh, that was bad.
I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the October 24th, 2024 Board of Commissioners meeting.
I'll make that motion, Hardy.
Do we have a support? Moved by Mr. Hardy, support by Mr. Beggs. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes as presented? All in favor of approving the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes passed. Conflict of interest disclosure regarding the agenda items. Does anybody have a conflict of interest disclosure or a concern on any items on the agenda? Hearing none. Changes to the agenda. I would like to add the health insurance proposal number
2024
2024-13, and I ask that Mr. McCormick will read that, please. And I'd like to add number 2024-131, the committee assignments for Mr. McCormick. And I'd ask that Mr. Erickson to do that. And let's do those right after Mr. Beggs has 2024-127 has the per diem increase in commissioners' wages on the second page, right down towards the bottom. Are there any other proposed changes to the agenda? Can I have a motion to approve the agenda with the changes, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Erickson. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Mr. McCormick. Any comments? All in favor of the agenda as presented? Say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes carried. Thank you. Now it's the good things. We have a 20-year service award that I'd like to present to Miss Melanie Kroon for 20 years of service. How quickly did that 20 years go by?
I just can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Melanie, I'm I'd like to commend you on your 20 years of service to Oceana County and the service to the people of Oceana County, presented by the Oceana County Board on October 10th of 2024. I want to thank you for your time here, and 20 more years to go.
Maybe.
All of them. We will. Also. And as I told everybody else, you're halfway through your tenure with the county. And we look forward to next year.
It's gonna be exciting.
I'll be sitting alongside of a wonderful person.
I'm glad you think
Both sides
that.
now. Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Mr. Hardy, adoption of the fiscal year 2025 budget and tax levies.
Chairman Walker, motion 2024-128 to adopt the proposed resolution 24-15 adopting the fiscal year 2025 budget and property tax millage rates to be leveled.
Support.
Moved by Mr. Hardy, support by Mr. Erickson. Discussion? Any comments from the board members?
If I may, I do want to say one thing. I think it was thanks for all the board members working on this. The general public probably doesn't know this, but we worked on this a couple different long meetings and went really well.
It went very well, and it was presented very well to us that, by the administrator in the office on looking at it, when you look at all of the different things. So, thank you.
There is one change to the resolution, however.
Please.
Yeah,
On the first page, paragraph 5, on the second to the last line there, it says 5.6571. That should read 5.6084.
So, the tax levy went down.
So noted.
And the reason that came out now is because the information that we just got from Ed Vanderleest today. So, with that change, are there any more comments or questions on the motion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hardy,
yes.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. McCormick,
Yeah.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Mr. Beggs, Shelby Township enclosed facility appropriation request.
I'd like to make motion 2024-114 to approve an appropriation in the amount of $50,000 for the Shelby Township enclosed facility project with funds to be paid from ARPA funds.
Thank you, Mr. Beggs. Do we have a support?
Support.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Harris.
Moved by Mr. Beggs, support by Mr. Erickson. Any discussion or comments?
Just a couple of comments just for anybody listening, since we didn't really discuss this today. Just very large project with a lot of grant funding. I believe it was $8 or $9 million, $10 million, somewhere around there. The township has about a $50,000 or $500,000 gap they're working to fundraise, and that's where this $50,000 still a fair amount of money, but in the grand scheme, it's just kind of a nod that the county's approval of the project, and it's a great opportunity in Shelby Township and really for the whole county. It is a public use facility that is open to everybody in the county, located in Shelby Township.
Thank you, Mr. Beggs. Any other comments? Call for the vote, please. Roll call vote.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. McCormick,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
No. I'd just like to make the statement, I'm in favor of the project, but I think we've already given money to this project, and I do not believe, we have a lot of other strong needs in the county. And I take them one by one at a time, so. Again, I'm in favor of the project, but there's a lot of other project too, so, thank you. Mr. McCormick, IT supplies for building materials department move.
Motion 2024-121 to approve the purchase of IT items needed for the building inspection department. Move in the amount of $9,874.03 with funds to be paid from the building improvement fund.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question on that. Mr. McCormick, would you mind that motion say, the building inspection department moving the amount not to exceed $10,000? Mr. Beggs, what was the amount that you considered there?
Yeah, that 10,000, just, it's a round number and gives the IT department the ability to purchase what they need to purchase.
Mr. McCormick, would you be favorable?
I'd be in favor of that.
Do we have a support with the motion?
I'll support that.
Thank you, Mr. McCormick. Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Mr. Erickson, Cheller. Boy, isn't that Cheller?
I like it.
Okay.
Mr. Walker, I make motion 2024-122 to approve the purchase of a chiller for the county courthouse in the amount of $118,000 from Boardwell Mechanical Services with funds to come from the ARPA fund.
Do we have a support?
I'll support.
Moved by Mr. Erickson, support by Mr. Beggs. Any comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
There's quite a spread there between the low bid and the second bid. I'm just wondering who made the review to see that everything is included with low bidder.
We looked over the breakdown of everything that was in there, and our former maintenance, head of that department, Brian looked at it, and Brian talked to him about it, and Brian recommended at that time that we use Boardwell. He said, it appears as though everything is complete in there, and that they have, and if I remember right, Boardwell was using train equipment to do this. Chillers are a pretty specialized piece of equipment, the air conditioning, and actually, you use cold water through heat registers to cool the buildings. They're generally used, from what I'm told, they're generally used in high-rise complexes where you can't get, air conditioning through all of the units. Brian said that he was comfortable with it. He had asked lots of questions about it. Tracy, do you have any comments on that?
No, I was just gonna say that, Brian had been working on that project for quite some time, and he was, he had really looked through the beds and made sure that that was what was needed.
That is one of the reasons it's taken us this much time to bring this before the board, because there was a lot of background done on it. Very, very good question. But Brian said that he felt very confident that Boardwell had the ability to do the work.
I'm acquainted with Boardwell, and I agree. They're a good contractor. I don't have any question that way. I just wondered how much review was done with that amount of money between the two.
Well, and I know the one other company, and I don't know the third company that they've been on.
Sounds good.
I feel comfortable with it, Brian and I talked on this several times before we actually moved forward, bringing it here. The chiller that we're using now was put in when the building was built. It's been long overdue. And just as a comment on this, Tracy, when you contact Boardwell, I think we should tell them that they can put that physical unit in any time. That, you know, that they're comfortable, they can get their unit ordered and get it put in. I'd rather have it put in before next June or July when
We need it.
we'll need it again. So,
Well, and we even had that lag time before we could turn the heat on, didn't we? So, yep, she's done for the year.
it shut down. Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. McCormick,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Mr. Beggs, Emergency Management Performance Grant.
I'd like to make motion 2024-123 to approve the fiscal year 2024 Emergency Management Performance Grants, grant agreement package, and allow the chair, county clerk, and the county administrator to sign.
Do we have a support?
I'll support Hardy.
Moved by Mr. Beggs and supported by Mr. Hardy. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. McCormick,
Yes.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. I don't believe that I asked for public comment at the beginning of the meeting. Are there any public comments at this time? No, I was remiss. I did not ask at that time. Are there any public comments? I apologize for that, and hearing none. Mr. Erickson, MSU Extension Memorandum of Agreement.
Mr. Walker, I make motion 2024-124 to approve the memorandum of agreement between Michigan State University Extension and the Oceana County for fiscal year 2025 and allow the chair to sign.
Do we have a support?
I'll support Hardy.
Moved by Mr. Erickson, supported by Mr. Hardy. Any comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. McCormick,
Yes.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Commissioner Hardy, apportionment report and form L4402.
Mr. Walker, did we miss,
Mr. McCormick.
the extension agreement?
Oh,
Mr.
thank
McCormick?
you. We had two MSUs there together. Mr. McCormick, MSU extension agreement for clerical support.
Mr. Walker, motion 2024-125 to approve agreement with MSU Extension in Oceana County for year 2025 for the purpose of clerical support for economic development and allow the chair to sign.
Do we have a support?
I'll support. Go ahead.
Tim's.
Moved by Mr. McCormick, second by Mr. Beggs. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. McCormick,
Yes.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Now, Mr. Hardy, the apportionment report and form L4402.
Motion 2024-126 to adopt the 2024 apportionment report of Oceana County millage rates as calculated and compiled by the Oceana Equalization Department and authorized by the Oceana County Equalization Director to complete and sign the Michigan Department of Treasury Form L-4402 to be submitted to the Michigan Department of Treasury in a timely fashion.
Do we have a support?
Support.
Moved by Mr. Hardy, support by Mr. McCormick. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hardy,
Yes.
Mr. McCormick,
Yes.
Mr. Erickson,
Yes.
Mr. Beggs,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes. Mr. Beggs, per diem increase and commissioner wages.
I'd like to make motion 2024-127, effective January 1, 2025, to increase per diem rates from $30 per meeting to $50 per meeting as per the county's allowable per diem schedule, and increase county commissioner wages by 2% for years 2026 and 2028 of their term.
Do we have a support?
I'll support Hardy.
Moved by Mr. Beggs, support by Mr. Hardy. Any discussion? I would like to say that per diem increase is for all of the board members that collect per diem, you know, the Parks and Recs board, any board member that is collecting the per diem now is entitled to that increase. And, that per diem, to the best that we can find, hasn't been changed. The administrator's office told me just now they couldn't find it all the way back to the 1970s.
Wow.
So maybe it was time for an adjustment on that. So, any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Mr. McCormick, motion 2024-130, the health insurance.
The motion 2024-130 to renew the current self-funded Blue Care Network medical plans as listed below. $250 deductible, $500 deductible, $1,000 deductible, and a $3,200 deductible HSA, with the carve-out prescription coverage to be managed by Meditipsters to provide cost savings to the county and employees, with all to be managed by Lyric Employer Benefit Management, and provide a letter of agent change to Brown & Brown to abide by the 30-day clause in the current contract.
I'll support.
Moved by Mr. McCormick, second by Mr. Beggs. Any discussion? I think, I want to thank the administrator's office for finding a reduction both at the employees' pay and the amount that the county pays. You know, which is always a good thing. I think, after we vote on this, if it does pass, I think we need to formally notify the department heads, you know, in an email, so they can notify their employees what that change is. So they know exactly that what, you know, there's gonna be a savings, you know, to them on there, so that before any other questions are asked.
I will have the actual cost to the employees tomorrow,
Okay.
finalized, so that I'll be able to pass that along.
Yeah. And it would be helpful if we showed the savings to them. Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Mr. Erickson, motion number 2024-131.
Mr. Walker, I make motion 2024-131 to appoint Commissioner Joel McCormick to the committee appointments left from Phil Morse's resignation to expire December 31st, 2024.
Do we have a support?
Support.
I'll support.
Mr. Erickson, motion, Mr. Hardy, support. Better let Mr. Hardy support that if we're doing an appointment. Yes, and those committee assignments are available in the administrator's office, and I read them during the finance committee meeting today, so. And I wish I could have found a few more. We don't need a roll call vote for this. All in favor, just say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Welcome aboard.
Motion passed. Mr. Hardy, payment of claims.
Yes, Chairman Walker, board approval of accounts payable and release of funds, Thursday, October 24th, 2024. Ambulance fund total $4,476.46. FOC fund total $2,194.06. Brownfield Redevelopment Authority $41,485.52. Automated ROD fund total $1,026.88. Indigent Defense Fund $44,965.26. LOCT fund total $300. Canine Fund $1,251.79. Criminal Justice Training Fund $1,397.69. Department of Veterans Affairs, $7,064.67. Technology and Innovation, $4,707.80. Building Department Fund total, $3,998.11. General Fund total is $537,939.69, for a grand total of $650,807.93.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Do we have a support on the payment of claims?
I'll support.
Thank you, Mr. Beggs. Moved by Mr. Hardy, supported by Mr. Beggs. For payment of claims as presented, any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Mr. McCormick?
Yeah.
Mr. Walker?
Yes. Reports from commissioner or department heads. Are there any department heads that have anything to report? Reports from commissioners. Before we do that, I want to remind my fellow commissioners that we only have one meeting next month. Thursday, Thanksgiving, we are not going to have a meeting. The security doesn't want to work on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, so we can't have a meeting on Thanksgiving, amongst other reasons. So we'll only have the one, and we will probably. I'm going to try to have on the agenda the opportunity to go into closed session to discuss contract issue. So, and with that, Joel, do you have anything for us today?
No, I don't think so.
Paul?
This past week I did attend a meeting, Walkerville Thrives, in Walkerville in regards to the PFAS problem that we've had out there. And Robert, you're familiar with us at the health department providing water filters for the wells that have been affected out east. And I believe we had 15 to my knowledge, if I'm not correct. Well, Bob, help me with that. But what we have found is that many years ago, the Whitehall Tannery waste was taken out to Colfax and Levitt and spread on fields. And we've got a PFAS problem out there right now with poisoned wells. Walkerville Thrives showed a very good documentary regarding those wells and the Walkerville history with the PFAS problem. We had a conversation about the Fremont biodigester and the PFAS problem of animals eating the waste, fields that were treated with the waste, of which some herds have been destroyed. So we have a problem out there that is starting to show up more and more, and there was a gentleman there also, Andy O'Reilly out of Holton, who was very concerned about the PFAS problem because there are some streams in Holton that are completely dead. Therefore, we're going to look into this closer and try and stick with this. But, you know, many years ago with Muskegon County, and if you'll recall DuPont, the problems we had, and the PCBs that we had with our cattle herds years ago when we destroyed and buried a bunch of herds over in St. Louis, Michigan, in the hill down, north of Montague with the DuPont problem. There's been waste spread throughout Oceana County for generations that was done in the dark and at night. And it's starting to show now, especially with the Whitehall Tannery. It's been identified as waste from that project when they, took the tannery out and removed all the sludge and brought it out and spent it on our field. So that was a very informative meeting, and I'm sure we'll see more and hear more as we go. And Robert, we also talked about that in Carlton Creek, right? We had a PFAS dump north of Rothbury and Carlton.
I don't know that I'm aware of that.
But we were talking about at District 10 in Cadillac,
Yes.
The PFAS issue.
They have not identified the location of the PFAS problems in Rothbury as of yet.
Yeah.
That's one they haven't come up with.
Yeah. But it goes back to, years ago when we were kids with Teflon cookware and almost everything else that we use in daily living does have that. PFAS is a fire retardant. We've been using it on all these fire issues, car fires, things of that nature. So, yeah, it was very concerning, but hopefully we'll see some more identification of wells that do need the filter kit, the program that we can provide for them. Very big. So, nope, that was there. Thank you, Mr. Kelly, for coming in today and your participation in what's going on up at the Peterson facility and the trunk or treat and the trailer is really worth going to see. If we can get in it, hopefully we'll find a time, we'll get the news out that we would be able to have a look at that. But thank you very much for that. And otherwise, things are good. Things are very good.
All on the PSAPs, I've just noticed the last week or so that the Michigan Department of Public Health has got things that they're putting on social media. And I see on the internet all the time now with a picture of a wellhead, a residential wellhead, and suggesting that everybody in the state of Michigan have their wells tested. And they've got a list of accepted laboratories in and out of Michigan that do it. And the fees go all the way from $250 to $700 on the listings up there for the testing.
We talked about.
Just seen that. Mr. Begg, did you have anything for us?
Just probably one thing. Veterans Affairs Office is hosting a 5K and a parade on November 9th in celebration of Veterans Day on November 11th. So that's going to be, I believe the 5K is in Shelby and the parade is going to be in Hart. And so big plans to check out the parade if you can. Slog through the 5K if that's your poison. But so just neat to see some things that they're putting together there and be part of that. That probably is everything. Get out and vote.
Thank you, Mr. Beggs. Mr. Hardy.
Nothing to report this time.
Amy, do you have anything for us?
Early voting starts Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and runs through Sunday, the 3rd, every day. So it is located here in the jury room right in front of the boardroom here. So anybody in the county can come and vote there.
And that notice will be out tomorrow to 1,400 households. So hopefully we'll be busier than we had been in the past.
Yeah, I expect it to be busier.
I thought after I had put my early voting and delivered it to the township that I would not have to watch any more ads on TV, but they haven't stopped.
You didn't get the exemption, huh?
They haven't, no, I didn't. Tracy, do you have anything for us?
I don't believe I have anything else other than, does somebody have a
LAUN.
sheet for the board meeting?
I think I saw that in the.
It's around.
Yeah,
Did somebody take it in?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yep.
Never mind.
Jan just asked me to sign it.
Oh, okay.
When I was over, Jan asked me to sign it.
Okay.
Are there any public comments? Welcome, Mr. Kelly.
I do want to just take the opportunity to again express sincere appreciation for your support of extension. It's not taken for granted. I think that's important to verbalize. A long history, of course, of the county, and it's good that we can continue that. And I'll just again throw out a challenge. You're paying for our services. Bring issues to us. You know, I sit and listen to PFAS conversations, and again, there are lots of resources out there, and we overlap or provide some information along with District Health Department to add. But I just hope that we're somewhere down your Rolodex, maybe in the top 5 of folks you could potentially call if you come up against a stumbling block. So put us to work, and again, appreciate your support.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Is there anything else to come before the board? I would just like to say we have a response from our attorney on the closed session that we're going to have. And he asked that the sheriff and the union be invited to that closed session. And he is going to attend by Zoom.
Sheriff and undersheriff.
Sheriff and undersheriff. Sheriff and undersheriff. Right. I'm sorry, it says undersheriff. US. So, but we're all set for that. So, anything else to come before the board? Then we are adjourned. And I want to thank my fellow board members for all of the work that went into the budget and all of the discussions we had pulling this all together. Joel, look forward to next September.
Yeah,